So, welcome everybody to candidate question time for South Bank Students' Union Spring Elections 2021. Let me just tell you how this is going to work. So my name is Matt. I'm the Deputy Returning Officer for the elections this year. I'm going to be chairing the meeting. The meeting's going to work as follows. I'm going to ask candidates one question. Every candidate who runs in the same race will be asked the same question. It's not a debate format, so we've seen the kind of the presidential debates in America and the debates over here, and it's just, it's not like that. It's not your opportunity to convince students to vote for you. It's not about debating with other candidates. You will each have 1 minute to answer each question. I will cut you off when it gets to 1 minute. I will say that's time, thank you very much, and I will keep saying that until you stop talking if you keep going. So please stick to 1 minute. Please keep your microphones muted unless you are the candidate who's been invited to speak. And yeah, please do type your questions in the chat function if you wish. So we are hearing from candidates for full-time officer positions today. So the candidates running for President, VP Education, VP Welfare and Equality, and VP Activities and Employability, in that order. It's just the candidates for full-time officer roles who will be answering the questions today. There are candidates for part-time officer roles, as you all know, but this is for the benefit of when we kind of publish this recording. There are candidates for the part-time officer roles as well, that people can vote for during the elections week. Elections will be online, opening from tomorrow. Students can vote via the SU website tomorrow from 10 AM until Friday at 3 PM. So we're going to get started, and we're going to start with candidates for president. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read your full name as it's listed in the it's going to be listed on the ballot and was listed in your nomination. And then you've got 1 minute to introduce yourself and let students know why they should vote for you. And so we're going to do that in the alphabetical order of nominations, starting with the presidential candidates. So I don't think we have Ayatollah Bambro here. If you're here, Ayatollah, please speak up. Okay, so that leads us to Farzana Alina Ullah. So coming to you, Alina, please introduce yourself, and you've got 1 minute to introduce yourself and let people know why they should vote for you.
Hi, my name is Alina. I'm a final year in chemical engineering. The reason why people should vote for me is I'm going to make a change, and that's a promise. I'm a student voice assistant at the university in the union, and I deal with day-to-day problems of students. And I realise how many issues there are and what's not getting done and solved. And I want to solve those issues as soon as possible. I've seen the struggles of part-time and mature students who make up at least 50% of the students, and how much they're struggling with the support from the union and from the lecturers. I hope I can help deal with those issues. I also want to help females with sexual harassment. We've all seen the figures, it's 97%. And there's such a lack of support for women in society and in the university. Being a woman who's been sexually harassed many times, it's a conversation that we need to start talking about, and that's something I want us to start talking about and see what the university can do to support us. I also want to give more support to people with disabilities. I have dyslexia myself, and I've struggled, and it took me over a year and a half with the DDS team to solve those issues and get the support I needed. And even though the support now is amazing, it shouldn't take over a year for that. I want to be able to give the support to students and allow...
That's time. Thank you, Alina. Thank you for that. I'm going to ask a follow-up question for you. The question is, what do you think is the biggest issue facing South Bank students today?
Yeah, for me, I spoke about it briefly. It's the part-time students. They're 45%, and majority of the students are mature students, and they have no support. They have been underrepresented and forgotten by the university. They've come to me multiple times telling me that they've been told to come in 2-3 times a week when they can only come in 1 time because they're working full-time jobs. Some of these have families and kids who have to become their primary caretaker at home, teaching them school, and don't have the ability to, study alongside. There needs to be something where the university can, provide them support, give them some help, and help deal with the issues. I also want to focus on mental health with COVID-19. The mental health issues has dramatically, increased with, this year. I think the statistic is massive, and you can see through news reports that more antidepressants have been given this year than any year ever. And it is a big issue, and I want to provide more support for students in those backgrounds and who are struggling right now.
That's great. Okay, thank you so much for that answer as well. Right, so thank you. First one, well done for being the first. We'll move to the next candidate now, who is Hamad Chowdhury. I don't think you're here, Hamad, are you? No. Okay, cool. So we'll move to the next candidate, who is Ivo Neo Kuka.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Ivo Kuka. I just graduated the same uni. I started there year one, and I went through my undergraduate, had my first degree, continued, had my master's degree, and actually I'm doing a PhD in electronics. More precisely, I'm doing robotics. So I've been at the uni for close to 5 years now. And I think I'm better, more aware of how the university functions, and know more of the lecturers, and I'm acquainted to more of the students around the uni. Thank you.
That's great, thank you. So question 2 is, what do you think is the biggest issue facing South Bank students today?
To me, the experience I've got with the issues LSBU students are facing, I will say it's mental health that are really affecting so many students, and some of us students who have, some of them that have the mental health do not actually know that they have these issues. So they have the problems, they keep those problems for themselves. They don't know actually where to sort help from, and it goes on, affects them both in their family life, their personal life, and eventually it affects them with their studies. So I think the most problems that are affecting the students that are at South Bank is the mental health issues, which I think it should be addressed.
Brilliant, thank you. That was almost exactly 1 minute, so well done, that was good. Next candidate is Max Smith. So Max, over to you. You have 1 minute to introduce yourself and to tell students why they should vote for you.
Thank you. Right, okay, I'm Max, and I'm a third-year accounting and finance student here at LSBU. I'm running for president this year because I think I've had a full range of experiences during my time here at LSBU. I've been lucky to be involved in a number of different departments. I've worked in the halls, on campus as a student ambassador. I've been a business solution centre advisor, a course rep, president of the football team, and now university student governor. Over the last year, I've worked closely with the current 4 sabbatical officers, so I kind of know how things work. I kind of know where to go to make things happen. And also, because I've been a full-time student, I know the problems. There's quite a lot that we need to face and that we need to try and tackle this year. Reducing the awarding gap at LSBU. A lot of people don't know this, but at LSBU, if you're a full-time black student, you're 18% less likely to get a first-class degree than a full-time white student. That's just completely unacceptable today. You know, the university are aware of it, but we need to do more. The COVID-19 response, we need to get more back for students so that they can get back on campus, stop missing out on that experience that they've missed out on so much this year with mental health support and everything along with that. Safety.
Okay, that's time. That's time. Thank you, Max.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. Thanks. What do you think is the biggest issue facing South Bank students today? And you have 1 minute to answer that. Off you go.
Okay, well, straight to the point, I do think the biggest issue is the BAME awarding gap. And I think that that's just completely unacceptable that there's such a big discrepancy within our student base. And there's a lot that we can try to do to solve this. You know, the university, like I said, are aware of it, but they are at the beginning now of a 5-year plan. we need to kind of speed things up a little bit. We need to take a look at all our courses. We need to figure out what's working. You know, are there courses where maybe there's no awarding gap, or even if the other way, you know, where things are working well? And there certainly will be some courses where that gap is far larger. So we need to bring all these courses in. We need to do a big analysis. We need to have focus groups with the students. We need to understand what perhaps is, what perhaps isn't working, and bring all of these student voices together from a wide range of different student backgrounds to create this new university environment where hopefully we will not have such a vast awarding gap. And it is worse here than it is at other institutions. We need to sort this out. We need to do it now, and we need to have results rolling out from this September, not September 2025, as that's 5 years away. Okay.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Max. Brilliant. Okay. Well, thank you, presidential candidates there. So the last candidate on this list is Natasha Trivedi, but I think Natasha isn't here either. Please speak up, Natasha, if you're here. Okie dokie. All right. So we're going to go to the VP Education candidates next. So I'll ask you a number of questions. You'll get 1 minute each to answer the questions. It'll all be the same questions, and I will let you know which order I need you to answer them in. So the candidates we have for VP Education, we're going to start with Ardita. Do we have Ardita at the meeting? I'm not sure that we do. No. Okay. Cool. So then the next candidate is Ewan. So Ewan, are you here?
Yeah, with a bad cam, but yes.
That's all right. So Ewan, the question for you is the same as the presidential candidate's first question. Please introduce yourself and let everybody know why they should vote for you. And you have 1 minute.
Good afternoon. I'm Ewan. I'm a third-year bioscience student, and I have been a course rep for 3 years. And while I've seen the SU doing lots of good work, I have found that on my course in particular, we did not have tutors for any of our 3 years. We've had lecturers leaving, like our course director, and no one stepping up, and lots of problems. And also a lot of people talking about DDS. And so while I don't know that I'd be the best person for the job, I'm simply trying to make a positive change in the university and trying to make things as good as they can be for everyone, with as much support as everyone needs to get as good an education as they can.
Brilliant. Thanks, Ewan. That was very succinct. You clearly have practiced your pitch there, so that's good. Thank you. We do have one more question, so we will take it, and it's going to come back to you, Ewan, which is how can we ensure that students get the most out of their classes and class tutors?
As for tutors, I'm not particularly sure, as I have not had one at any point during my 3 years. So I think the first step of that is making sure that every student gets one, because despite bringing it up in my first year, I was told, oh, we're short staffed, we'll get one next year. Second year, I was told it was my course director, but they left halfway through the year, leaving without anyone running the course, and without any personal tutors or anyone running one of our modules even. So I think the first step is to have course tutors for all students and make it clear to them who exactly is their tutor, and make sure they have at least one meeting with them. Even if they decide they do not want to continue meeting them, have one meeting so they know what's being offered and so they know who to go to if they need that help. And to get the most out of classes, I think there's already a great system in place with course reps, with course board, but I don't know if students necessarily realise how useful course reps can be and how much they can get out of that simply by raising those problems to the course reps so they can talk to people and get these things fixed. If there's anything going wrong, if you can't understand what lecturers are saying, if you can't find documents, anything like that can be fixed if it's raised correctly. And so
okay, that's time. Thank you, Ewan. Thanks, Ewan. The last candidate is Rabi. So Rabi, over to you. You have 1 minute to introduce yourself and to let people know why they should vote for you.
Thank you very much, Matt. Yeah. So hi, everyone. I'm Rabi, UConn VP Education at London South Bank Students Union. I'm running for the VP Education role again this year. I want you to re-elect me because I have been representing not just your academic interest, but also the needs of the students. I ensured that student needs are represented in every decision made within the university. If you re-elect me, I will keep working for a vibrant, transparent, and accountable students' union where students are aware of what's happening. As UBP Education, I have achieved so much which I have promised to you guys last year. For example, no detriment policy, 24/7 library facilities from September, hardship fund, brain support fund, lecture capture policy, and latest 10 days or 14 days of examination assessment extension for the second semester, and the other candidates, as what they were saying, like the personal tutoring issue, and bringing a new personal tutoring scheme from next academic year.
Thank you. That's time. Thank you, Rabi.
Thank you very much, Matt.
Brilliant. Okay. All right. Same question to you, Rabi.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, so the personal tutor question, the first one, as I've been telling for long, which is we're going to bring in a personal tutoring policy, one of the best policy in the UK, which will ensure every student knows who will be their personal tutor at the beginning of their course within 5 weeks of their, within 5 weeks of their course. And also every student will have half yearly basis meeting, at least one meeting, at least 2 meetings a year, and 6 months basis meetings. And also, so this thing will help our students to know, like, what kind of support they can get from the personal tutor and get more support also. So also regarding the what students can expect from the inside the classroom. So we have built a student tracker issue where the student can raise any issues they have got. They don't need to go to the course reps, or they don't need to go to the course module leaders or anyone. They can raise it with us at any time. So every student will feel as like same equal and same opportunities at Southbank. So we are building.
Time, Rabi. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Okay. Thank you so much to the VP Education candidates. A massive virtual round of applause to you as well for bearing with the process and answering those questions. Well done. Thank you. Yeah, very nice. Now we're going to move on to the next set of candidates, who are the candidates for the VP Welfare and Equality role. Do we have Faduz? We have Faduz here. Do we have Bailey on the call? Bailey. Hello. Hello. How are you doing?
All right.
Good, good, good. Okay, great. So you two are the only candidates for this role, for VP Welfare and Equality. So we're going to do the same process as before. So hopefully, if you guys are both here for the whole thing, right? You've both been here for the whole process so far, so you know how it's going to work. Great. So we are first going to go to Bailey. And Bailey, the question is, please introduce yourself and tell students why they should vote for you. And you have 1 minute starting now.
Hi, my name is Bailey and I'm a third-year student studying IT. And yeah, I've volunteered in the SU in so many ways over the years, through volunteering and being part of so many sports clubs, societies. And I aim to ensure that students are represented, supported and treated equally throughout their time at Southbank. When it comes down to the tuition fees we're paying, we deserve the very best in the amount of support we're getting, any advice we need at any time, because depending on how we are is key. And most of us, during first years, there's sometimes we're lonely, so we need to ensure that there's a support and there's help in receiving it. And yeah, because there's so many at the start.
Thank you, Bailey. Thank you. That's time. Thanks very much. What will you do in regards to student mental health? There was a little bit extra in the chat which said because there are students who feel afraid to reach the student services. But yeah, the question is, what will you do about mental health?
Okay, so firstly, by emailing every student, saying that there's opportunities to have, if you want to talk to a member at the Student Life Centre, and either by phone call, face to face, whatever means, just kind of giving out there, just kind of giving the push to them, and just raising awareness in campaigns, and also kind of notifying our course in kind of notifying them in their lectures about if it's needed, that they can come to the student life centre, talk to someone, as sometimes people just need a little push to receive the push. So just that little push kind of help from someone. Yeah, it's just whatever it means, if it's they're being lonely, anxiety, if they're feared of the situation we're currently in, just kind of let them know by what it means, like word of mouth. Yeah.
Thank you. We do have some trouble. It was cut out a bit for you, Bailey. So we heard most of what you said. But yeah, if there's a way to, I don't know, boost your Wi-Fi signal, I don't know how it works. If there's a way to do some of that, you're an IT person, please do. Great, same to you, Faduz. So please introduce yourself and let people know why they should vote for you.
Hello everyone, I'm Faduz. I'm the current VP Welfare and Equality at the Student Union, and from last year I have been working on several projects. So I believe that this is how I got some more experience on this role. Another thing is, like, from my very first year, I have been working with several societies, union, and different university services. So I know how things need to be done. So I have made some promises last year and I have achieved most of them, and I want to do something more for you. Throughout my role, I have realized that not every single student group needs every single same service. They need some different treatment because they are from a special student group, as Max mentioned about a wording gap, and we have seen some questions about DDS. So we believe that these student groups needs to be addressed properly. Another thing is, like, one of my 4 manifesto point is like decolonize LSBU. Decolonization is one of the key topic in the country and everyone is talking about it. I believe that
that's time. Thank you, Faduz. Thank you, Faduz. Thanks. Oh, hang on. Brilliant. Okay, thank you. What will you do about mental health for students?
In terms of mental health, if I read out the question, it said that students who doesn't feel afraid to reach out, the student service. So previously, the staff doesn't have enough training or knowledge how to deal with the student issues, same like mental health problem, if it doesn't include student service. But as a part of my last year promise, that right now university staff have the training how to deal with mental health issues. And now I would say, if the students doesn't feel comfortable to go to the student service, they can have a talk with the lecturer or any other who is more responsible and more accurate. And I'm still in a conversation with the university to create more out of office in-person support so that the student can get in touch. So right now we have in the halls. I want to make sure that I will do the same for the university students, so that it doesn't matter wherever they are living, they can get in touch with those person and then they can talk about their mental health issues so that they can sort it out and the right person can help them.
Okay, well, thank you for this. Well, you stopped exactly on the right time there, so well done. Thanks. Now we're to our last set of candidates, and that is the VP Activities and Employability candidates. And so, same format as before. I think you've all been here for the entirety of the meeting, so you should know how it works. But if you would like to ask for clarification, please let me know. And so we have 3 candidates. We have Keys. On the ballot, I think your name will be listed as Ifeanyi Egbuna, but you go by Keys. We have Joel Langston and we have Sahil. And so we are going to first come to you, Keys, and we're going to ask you to introduce yourself and let people know why they should vote for you. And you have 1 minute to do that. Over to you.
Hello, my name's Ifeanyi Egbuna, but most people call me Keys. I study engineering product design and I'm a final year. The reason why you should vote for me is that I believe so many people have missed opportunities to have fun in first year, and I want to be the one to provide that. I've had a great opportunity to meet some amazing people, and I do not know where I would be if I haven't met them, and I shudder the thought of people not having that experience. So I want to give people that great uni experience that I'm having. Thank you.
So what support will you give to students who have missed out this year due to the lack of events?
The support I would give to students is just plan more events in more quantities. We got events last year when I was here, but the events were very few to none. So I feel like we should set up I would personally set up a monthly event or weekly event that people can sign up for or write down what they want. So for karaoke night, soul food night, and different nights depending on what people are feeling. I also believe that what would help students, like Saha said, was an increase in the freshers' fare, because it went by really quickly, and there's still that gap between, your first year of uni and your lectures. I believe that is a great way to start. The other way to start was, sorry, I forgot. A meet and greet for students. That is the most important thing as an event, so people get to know each other and learn to be together. And
that's time, Keys. Thank you. Thanks, Keys. Thank you very much for that answer. And then we're going to go next to Joel. Joel, over to you. Please introduce yourself and tell students why they should vote for you. While this is all going on, by the way, other candidates, please feel free to submit your questions for these candidates on the chat. So over to you, Joel. Your time starts now.
Hi there, I'm Joel, and I've spent the last year as your VP Activities already, and 3 years prior to that as activity student staff. So I won't need any time to learn the role. All the time will be spent acting on my promises and giving you, the students, what they want. There's been a lack of community and belonging this year at South Bank, and everyone's missed out and been robbed by this pandemic of that experience. There's just so much passion to get that back, and I already know how to make things happen and how to get students to have a fun, memorable and engaging time. This past year, I've seen and heard firsthand the struggle students are facing in all aspects of life, not just activities, and I have the tools to return the student experience to the students. I know what students want and what students need as we return to a more normal student life, and I want activities that you know about. By taking it to every classroom, students can hear about what we have to offer on a regular basis and feed back to us. So not only are we going to make sure you know about what's going on, but you also get involved, get active and feel part of South Bank. Because last year was terrible, this year's going to be amazing, and we want you all to be part of our community.
Thank you, Joel. That's great. Well, what kind of support you'll give to students who have missed out this year due to the lack of events?
Sweet. Well, perfect. First and foremost, it'll be, start off the year with an intense freshers fortnight with double the events and double the fun to provide not only first years with an experience, but with second years that have missed out on it, so they can have almost like a second freshers. So it'll be, one of that. And then also throughout the year, not just in freshers, twice as lively weekly events and activities, and throwing communications behind it so we can reach as many students as we can. These will include things like mixers for student groups like part-time, carers, international, parent and mature students, so make it more inclusive. And then also a new normal mixture of online and in-person. There's no point going back to only in-person events. We need to make it as accessible as we can do, and so we may as well keep the online there.
And lastly, we're going to come to Sahil. So over to you, 1 minute to introduce yourself and let students know why they should vote for you.
Hello, my name is Sahil, and I'm currently my final student at London Southern University studying computer science student. As an international student, being part of both sports and societies has got me to realize how much I want to be a part of whole university experience. Through my current experience being post-rep, enterprise ambassador, STEM ambassador, and university marketing ambassador, I've learned that it takes commitment, confidence, passion, and represent to student voice. So being an international student, I want to improve the societies and that sports receive the continuous support. Like being in my second year, some of the students trying to build the new team for sports, and the university is not giving the support. Like they were saying, no funds, no sponsorship. It's very hard. So I want each student have the equal rights to promote the university. Moreover, I want to improve the employment team, like for placements, like for the international students, it's very less ratio to get the placement graduate scheme. So I want the different employment organization to come with the university, having different workshops, collaborating with different universities. And
that's it. Thank you. That's time. Thank you, Sahil. Well done, everyone. Really. What support would you give any students who have missed out this year due to a lack of events and activities? And that question is for you, Sahil.
Yeah, it's a good question. I would say even us and many of the new students have missed the virtual events. So I think there should be more virtual events. There should be more activities which should be done virtually. So students are paying too much fee mainly for international students, including me. Like this year was a little bit bored, and also I think there should be more virtual events. And once the university is open, so we should try to organize some events from the starting for freshers, and we will try to have some workshops or some events where they can tell us like there should be different activities are done, and there should be freshers week, which should be long enough. Rather it is 2 weeks, so it should be extended to 3 weeks, so like students can have more events. And I would say there should be extra support should be given to the students who are trying to build different activities and who wants to learn who wants to run different events. So I think so, yeah, there should be more virtual
That's
support.
time. Thank you, Sahil. Thank you very much. That is the end of the candidate question time. So thank you so much, everybody, for participating and sticking with it. Well done. Big round of applause for you all.